Right, hi, we've got Lisa Clooney joining us today. Lovely to see you.
Hello.
From Thrive Brand.
Thriving brand.
Thriving Brand.
Yeah.
So what's that mean?
Basically, I've been a designer and in branding for just under 30 years. So I've worked in major companies in London, advertising agencies, and always done it. And so I've worked with lots and lots of different sectors, lots of different people, whether that's small or large companies. And then last year over lockdown, I sort of realised when I was talking to people on Zoom that a lot of time they didn't have a clue what branding was. They thought it was the logo, they thought it was the website, and that's not what branding is.
And what is it?
Branding is all about the emotional interaction. So you want people to talk about your business. So that is what branding.
That's instantly, because you think the brand is the
That
sign
logo,
on the front.
that logo, yeah.
And so you've just said it's nothing to do with that. You want
It's
people
the recognition, so the
familiarity of the colours, the name, the
and
sounds.
it's the overall sense. So you think of Apple, they have got the tech side, they've got the trendy side, they're very clean. Everybody wants it, but they've got a certain persona about what they are, and you noticed over lockdown. All advertising changed dramatically on the TV. It was all about that human interaction. So that was making their brands, whether it was the high street banks, whatever, it was
more
all
of a social conscience.
Yeah,
type
so
of
it was very
caring.
human touches. So that's what branding is all about, getting in the head and the emotion and the heart feel of your consumer.
So how do you get to that stage?
You've got to really know your clients. So
Right.
you've really got to investigate your audience.
Research.
Look at your competitors. See what they're doing. See how they get interactions. What they're doing right. What they're doing wrong.
How do you do that?
Search it. You can Google search. You can see what they're doing. Look at their social media. Look at every interaction that they're doing. Stalk them in some ways.
In the most innocent way.
Yeah, in the most innocent way.
Is that the professional way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you've always got to look at how your
Yeah,
competitors
yeah.
are being successful.
I'm
or
just
not.
asking
That's
the
interesting.
expert here to see if that is the right
So
way.
she spent her career stalking people.
Yeah.
Interesting, isn't it?
In a nice way.
In a nice way. So that's how you kind of started your career.
Yeah.
And you said you've been in this for many a year, 30 years.
Yeah. So I've worked on every Mac that's possibly invented, I think.
Oh, really? Because back in the day, Macs were actually for the creatives, weren't they? And now it's more broad spectrum than that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the packages you can get on PC now. So, I mean, I'm Mac through and through because I've always worked in it. But but it is that there is so many options now, and you've actually got a lot of software that people can use for free. So you've got Canva. Canva as a
Canva
designer,
is good, isn't it? Apparently,
well, this is it. Canva as a designer, I should real poo-poo it really, but it is free. And it is growing and growing and growing. And when I do it for clients that are on Pro, which is £99 a year, and you get so much stuff with it. But it's getting it to use it correctly. And that's what I train them a lot of time.
That's the thing, isn't it?
I was going to say that because is that one of the things that you offer is
Yeah,
how
so
to
I
learn
have-
how to use these
Yeah,
things properly.
and to make sure their brand is not like everybody else's, because all the templates are really good, but everybody's using them. So it's designing the templates that is right for you, that's going to make you stand out. So the correct fonts, the
to develop
colours,
the brand.
yeah, your tone of
Just going to
voice.
say actually, like Canva it is saving money because I'm Photoshop, so I'm used to doing Photoshop, but I always start using a specific kind of like deleting backgrounds out of photographs. So always use Photoshop for that or resizing. Now you can do that through Canva now, and you can remove the background. It does it really, really well. So the difference between pricing, £24 per month for Photoshop, £10 per month for Canva, you can't go wrong.
And there's a click of a button
Yeah.
with
What
Canva.
about
Simple job.
Splice? There's another one called Splice.
I've never used that.
No.
But there is so many free things out there that is really good.
Yeah, I think with that one you have to pay a bit of money, but the point is that lots of people who've got these things don't actually know how to use them to the best advantage, and you're saying that's one of your things that you offer.
Yeah, so I offer them a bit of training to get them started. You can do a bit of animation on there. You can, it's a very, very flexible tool, but if it's used right.
And this is where your years of expertise come from. So getting back to Thriving Brand, when did that start?
The idea came beginning of last year, through lockdown, because people were totally overwhelmed what to do and what social media platforms to go in and things like that. And they feel as though they have to do everything. Yeah. And you don't.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? There's so many of them.
Yeah.
And you don't want to miss out what's going on.
But what's the point of doing all of them? You'll burn out. So you've got to pick the ones where your clients are. And this is the problem. People think everybody's their client and they're not. So that is what
that's an interesting piece of information to start with, isn't it?
Because you've got to know who your clients are, because they're not everybody. You've got to get that interaction. You've got to get that connection with them, know what their pain points are. And then you can write content and all that stuff that is actually going to help them and attract them to you, because you're building that rapport with them, that you understand them. So that's the sort of thing I was doing when I was talking to people. And then I'd gone through a situation where I was married to a narcissist, a control freak, and I lost all my confidence completely. Couldn't hold a sentence together, didn't want to go networking because...
Were you working during this time?
I was working, but very confinedly, and trying to focus on my work, but finding it very, very difficult because I thought it was a failure.
Did he not want you to work?
No, because I built my business up and I had staff, I had premises. He didn't like that at all. Because it was power. And so I ended up went back home again, got rid of the staff, used freelancers where I could, but I lost my confidence to sell myself. So once I got out of that marriage, and the light bulb moment and saying, what the hell are you doing? I started blossoming again. I found me again. And I think that is so important, because people do business with people. So you need to know who you are. You've got to be comfortable. You've got to be confident in yourself, because how are you going to sell yourself if you don't know who you are?
So did you, when you were going through this transition, did you have some counselling to help with that?
Yeah, I did have counselling.
So that's a really good thing.
Which was really good. And it's knowing that it's not you, it's them, because you blame yourself, because that's what you've been told for years and years and years. So it was when I was talking to other women that they were going through anxiety, when they're going through the menopause, they'd have really bad anxiety attacks, and their confidence would go, and they got to an age where they were maybe made redundant because the younger ones coming in,
even though you shouldn't do it.
So, which they shouldn't do, but it happens. So their confidence would drop in with that. So I did a positive psychology course to help me. And when I was talking to women, they needed it. They didn't want to put themselves out there, but they're seeing people on social media with light rings, with fully makeup, with all the lighting and everything. And they think that was really what they were like, but they're not. When you actually meet those people face to face, they're nothing like that. Nothing like, it's a bit catfish sometimes. So it was getting them to understand that you just be you. When you're going on social media, go on your, just take a video on your phone, be you.
And just say, I'm feeling a bit rough today, but this and this and this is going on.
I've done it while I've been dog walking in the pouring rain sometimes, done a video, because it's something I want to say right now. It'll only be for a few seconds, but it's just getting something across.
And where did you put that, on Instagram or something?
Yeah, I put that on Instagram, and I've got a private Facebook group, Thriving Brand, Thriving You. So I put stuff on there as well, give them loads and loads of advice, tips. what to look out for when you're designing a logo I've just done recently. So make sure what files your designer is supposed to give you, and just lots of advice.
Passing on your knowledge, isn't it, to someone?
Yeah.
That's
So I've
why-
got so many years experience.
So you're walking the dog in the rain and you think, I know what these people need to know.
I know. This is it. My brain never stops.
Which is great. That's kind of about being real, isn't
Well,
it?
I was just going to say, you're in the real moment, so you're doing something for real there, aren't you? You're not
Yeah.
putting your makeup on or whatever.
long as
You
you're
are
not lying
walking
in the
that dog
bath.
in the rain.
I
Yes.
know. I just thought about this. Excuse
There are
me.
lots of bubbles around me.
So who are you actually targeting? What sort of age groups?
So with Thriving Brand, I'm actually targeting women in their sort of 40s, 50s and 60s, because there's been an article actually only last week saying that the 50-year-old women are one of the biggest groups starting their actually businesses, new businesses. So that's my target audience to help them. But I also work in companies as well where they've lost their way. The clients, that the staff don't know what the values of their brand are, things like that. So the sales team don't really know what the support team have got problems with. Nobody's actually talking to each other. And that's all part of a brand. It's the communication. So how does a sales team sell value, what your values, your mission of your business is, or what that business is all about, if they don't really know? So that's what I do.
Okay, that's really interesting, isn't it? I'm getting back to the brand bit. I do think that what you've said there about the sales team and the service team, you need to talk, don't you? Because it's not just you or you, it's us.
Yeah, and that's what they're not all pulling together, some businesses. So I sort of go in and sort of shake things up a bit.
So do you just work locally or nationally?
No, I mean, since Zoom, I've got clients in Scotland, Midlands, Leeds, sort of by the coast, all over the place because of Zoom. It doesn't make any difference.
It doesn't matter
now.
where you are, does it?
No, but I do a lot of business sort of round sort of Surrey and Hampshire as well.
So what do you love about that?
I just love everything with brand. I mean, I'm very lucky. I've always done what I absolutely love. And I love working with somebody who's sort of fallen out of love of their business and watching them build that passion back. And they get the interest and any business, you should want to go into it every morning and not dread it. And that's what I want to get back. I want to get their enthusiasm and their love for their business.
How would you
again.
do that from minute one? Somebody goes, "Oh, I've been doing this for a while and not sure."
Going
about
back
it
to the
anymore."
basics. So why did they sell that business up? What made them want to do it? Go back to the foundations, and then they because they forget about that. And it's just knowing,
relighting that fire.
Yeah, it is relighting that fire. Because they do want to do it. They don't want to fail. Or they wouldn't be coming to me. They want to improve their business, but they're lost.
And I think probably that resonates with you, doesn't it? Because of your various parts of your journey, you can understand where these people are coming from, which is probably why your target market is that age group.
Yeah, but I do like working with young mums as well that are starting, because again they've lost their identity. They've had that career, then they think they're a mum and they don't know what direction to go. So sometimes it can be that, but actually it can be men as well.
True.
Men lose their way just as much as females.
I think
do.
we all do as humans, don't we?
Yeah.
Really, life gets in the way
Right.
because you just put your needs to one side, your passions to one side because of whatever.
And people don't want to admit they've failed. When they haven't failed, they've just lost their way.
And there's you, like a
And
shining
there's
light.
me.
Guides them on that correct path.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
So where
nice.
can people find you?
So I have thrivingbrand.com. My Instagram is thrivingbrand. So I give loads and loads of information on that. I'm based in Fleet,
Oh, are you?
in
Okay.
Hampshire. So yeah, you just follow me on there, or LinkedIn, Lisa Clooney.
Fabulous. Well, thanks for joining us today. Hopefully, you've given some inspiration to anyone that's listening today.
Yes.
Yeah, good luck.